Hello everyone. Hello Miss Andy. My name is Muhammad Sulthan from grade 11A, and in this video I will be teaching you and reviewing the topic lesson module 13, lesson 2, solutions and concentrations. This PowerPoint has been made by my teammates, and I will be the one presenting you the information or the review that we have made. My other teammates are covering module 13 lesson 1 and 3, and in this video I'll be explaining to you lesson 2. So let's move on. So in this lesson, we will be covering defining a concentration, calculating percent by mass and volume, molarity and molality, and obviously mole fractions. Now let's start off with defining a concentration. What is a concentration? First and foremost, the concentration of a solution is a measure of how much solute is dissolved in amount of solvent. Concentration can be determined by visual observation or qualitative analysis. For example, you can see and count the number of, let's say like particles inside of a drink or like ice cubes inside of a drink, and possibly the amount of sand inside of seawater of glass. Like it's not much, but you can see the sand floating around, probably count them. That's probably an example of visually seeing concentration. Now you can also calculate the concentration by using molality, percent by volume, percent by mass, and mole fraction for quantitative analysis. A concentrated solution always has more solute, unlike a dilute solution, which has less solute than the solvent. All right, let's move on by our first way of calculating, which is by percent of mass. And it's very, very simple. How to get percent by mass? You just have to divide the mass of the solute by the mass of the entire solution, and you will get what's it called, a fraction, and that fraction you multiply by 100 to get the percentage. Because as we all know, to get percentage, multiply the fraction by 100. Now, how to get percent by volume is literally the same thing, but instead of mass, we use the volume. So mass of the solute divided by the volume of the solution. These are two completely different units because one is kg and one is in liters. All right, pretty simple. Let's move on to molarity and molality. These two, again, are very simple. Molarity is the number of moles, we learned from before, of solute dissolved per liter of solution and is measured using capital M. Capital M is very, very different from lowercase m because capital M defines molarity while lowercase m defines molality. Now, molality is the ratio of the number of moles, so again, both using moles, of solute dissolved in 1 kilogram of solvent. Now, if you see the differences, molarity is in what? Liters. Molality is in what? Kilograms. So one is dealing with mass, and again, one is dealing with volume. So again, molarity, moles of solvent divided by liters of solutions. That's molarity. Molality is number of moles of solute divided by kilograms of solvent, so mass of solvent. That's molality. And now for the dilution equation, just shows how dilute the solution is. And we multiply the molarity and the volume, and that would always be equal to the finishing product and to your original. That's M1V1 equals M2V2. Now let's move on to our final topic, which is mole fractions. Mole fractions are a bit tricky than compared to the others, but again, very, very simple. Now, if you're given the number of moles, which is probably most of the time, maybe you have to convert from grams to moles, whatever, and you use a triangle by using Avogadro's number, which is explained in the previous lesson. If you're given the number of moles of the solute and solvent, you can write them in a mole fraction. It is written in the ratio of the number of moles or solvent divided by the total number of moles of solute of solvent. Now, in mole fractions, again, by the name, it suggests mole fractions. We're not using mass and we're not using volume. We're using moles. Now, so if you look at the diagram on the right, we're dealing with the number of moles of solute or solvent on top divided by total of both solute and solvent. And we're all using moles. So mole of something over mole of total. By using these three, you can calculate any concentration that you want to find. and hopefully pass Miss Annie's exam. And I hope you guys learned or reviewed uh, something and you find this video helpful. And I wish you all the best in Miss Annie's exam and Miss Annie's classes. Goodbye.